All right, it's your boy MBK in the building. Today we're gonna be talking about a movie called Prey. I got my boy Drew, aka Movie Steals. Feel free to introduce yourself, man.
What's up, everybody? My name is Drew. I go by Movie Steals on TikTok. I do physical media unboxings, movie reviews. I'm a movie collector and a movie fan, and I'm very happy to be here talking about a
Yeah,
movie I love.
yeah, he's a super cool dude. We've been friends for like almost a year, I want to say, or
Some
around a
yeah,
year. Yeah,
time flies. I can't even keep track really,
yeah,
but yeah,
time,
at least a year.
yeah, it's crazy how time flies. And yeah, man, this guy's a super nice guy. It's called Fire. Make sure to check it out. I'll put his socials in the description for sure. Well, it's TikTok. You have Instagram as well, right? Or is it just
I
TikTok?
have Instagram and YouTube, but I don't typically post much yet there. So, but I do have the pages like reserved, but I haven't been posting much content on those other
Yeah,
sites
yeah.
yet.
Our sounds got us put your TikTok in there. So my first question regarding the movie called Prey, how was your first experience watching this film on Disney Plus?
I actually watched it on Hulu first, and
Oh, Hulu.
it's like literally the first time I was like trying to figure out when a movie dropped on streaming. Because like I'm on Eastern time, so I was like, okay, so the movie comes out on this date, but is it at like 12:01 on this date, or is it like
Yeah.
10 p.m. Pacific time? Like I've never really monitored a stream movie like that when it's actually going to release. So it did drop at 12:01 on whatever the
Yeah.
release date was. I can't. It was like August of that year. I can't remember the exact date, but yeah, I'm like a huge Predator fan in general. So that's basically why I was like so hyped for this. And I was just like basically amazed that this movie was even going to get made. Predator 2018 was like a huge disappointment. It's actually my most hated movie of all time.
Yeah.
So I like couldn't even believe that this movie was existing. So I was like just so hyped to watch it. So that's why I was like locked in from the first minute.
Yeah.
How about you?
For me, I dead ass didn't know it was a Predator movie because I didn't even watch the trailer or anything. And
That's
then,
funny. Yo, so that must have been a big surprise then,
yeah,
bro.
that was a huge surprise. But my first time, first time watching this, I'm like, why is this not released in movie theaters? Like the movie looks gorgeous. I love
Yeah.
the jungle feel and the native representation in this movie is so awesome. It's been so special to see that on the big screen, especially for the Native
Hmm.
Americans or any person who's native to be seen on the big screen. Especially like the main character Naruto. How do you say it?
I just think it's Nauru.
Naru was such a great addition, especially with Adam Midtunder's performance. And I was
Hmm.
like, that's the first thing that came on my mind. It's like, why wasn't this released in theaters? And I'm glad this movie was successful in streaming. So Alien Romulus got will be released in theaters, which is something really great. That movie's great as well. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm then
'cause that was initially supposed to get just a
yeah,
streaming date
yeah,
too.
exactly. Like, thank God the next Predator movies are going to be in the movie theaters because these are made for movie theater experience. And
Yeah, I'm still holding out hope we get a theatrical release for Prey. Maybe you like to hype up a little bit before the
yeah,
new one
yeah.
comes out, something like that. I could see it happening.
Yeah, for sure. Because like I thought this movie was really well shot. The
Hmm.
cinematography is there. The CGI is really strong in this movie. I think it looks really solid for the low budget feel that this movie had. The action's great. I mean, it's a
Hmm.
movie that should have been seen in the biggest screen possible. But my second question is, what was your favorite scene in Prey?
Oh man, my
Yeah,
favorite. I have like a bunch because I have one like my the scene with Naru, like when it's like a one take action scene where she like kind of uses that axe on the string and like kind of takes out that camp of dudes
yeah,
with the dogs help like in that one scene. That for me is like my favorite scene with her. And then I love the like showdown between her brother and the feral predator, like when he's riding the horse and like throwing the spear at it and like kind of like and that little showdown because I felt like it did a good job of like allowing the brother to look like a badass
yeah.
and still like go out like with live like a cool ass death. So like I liked that section too. But yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the scene with the predator like tearing up those hunter guys. I mean, that's obviously
Yeah.
one of the best. I think it's actually probably the best predator like action scene in any of the movies, just because like you actually see the predator like being agile. Because even in the original one, which I still think is the best one, the predator is like kind of hulking. Like they didn't have the special effects to have it be like, act like it can jump from tree to tree and like be more like agile. You know what I mean? So that's still an
Yeah.
amazing scene too, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah, like speaking of the brother and Naru, I think their dynamics is the best part of this film because you feel like these actors have the best chemistry on screen and their like relationship makes sense and
Hmm.
you really tell they really care about each other during the situation they are. So when the brother does get killed, it has that emotional punch and
Hmm.
impact that
Hmm.
I really appreciate. That I feel like the other Predator movies don't really get that. You know, if that makes sense.
Totally. Yeah, I mean this you can tell it's like their family. You know what I mean? Like the other Predator movies, like I'm really just talking about the first one. Like they're soldiers, like they've been in battle together, but they're not like family. It's a little bit
Yeah,
different. So you can tell like yeah, they have a different relationship dynamic. So yeah, I love the movie. Like the way everything plays out too, like with Naru, like organically like kind of like studying the predator because like
yeah,
she can't like stand up to it just one on one, but like she notices how like if she takes that one route or whatever, it lowers her body temperature. And that was just like another cool like a way to have like a similar element to the first one where Arnold puts all the mud on him and it can't see him.
yeah,
Like they didn't do the exact same thing. They did it differently. So it gave it like it was like a fresh take on a similar like I guess plot device or whatever. But
yeah,
yeah. So I loved it.
yeah,
She like organically sees like how the predator attacks people, like what weapons it has. So like when she has the final showdown, she has an edge. You know what I mean? Because she knows how it attacks, how it sees, like what she can do to try to take it out. So I think it was like a great build up to because she doesn't like she starts out the movie like kind of weak, like
oh
she
yeah,
tries to hunt that tiger, she ends up like falling and her brother has to save her, like so she kind of like grows. Like I love character arcs in movies and she
yeah.
grows throughout the movie, and then at the end she has like this triumphant taking out the predator, which I think it works really well that way.
Yeah, it definitely is like an underdog story, even though
Hmm.
like she makes mistakes. Like she gets trapped in a bear trap a couple of times in this movie, and the second time is when the French settlers capture her and her brother gets like tortured by them. But
Hmm. Yeah.
I love the fact that she's sloppy in the beginning, but she's
Hmm.
still willing to do what she wants to do and be this hunter and prove to her and the tribe that she could be this hunter. And
Hmm.
it's such a great arc that anyone could realistically relate to. Like, if you start doing something that you like and you suck at it in the beginning, people are gonna make fun of you. But if you keep going, keep doing it, eventually you'll get good at it. And this is like a prime example of that because
Hmm.
she eventually becomes the hunter she wants to be in the final showdown. It's not
Hmm.
really about her being like stronger than a predator. It's about her like
Outsmarted.
outsmarting the predator, and I think that is such a great way to put things together. Because like you said, like Arnold, the first movie, realistically couldn't fight the predator like hand in hand, so he had to outsmart the predator some way, shape, or form
Exactly.
too.
Exactly. He basically just gets lucky and tricks it. You know what I mean? So, because the predator's beating his ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, but I also love the way the Predator first gets introduced when he kills that snake in the beginning. I thought that was such a slick scene in there that's like, oh
Hmm.
wow, this is a Predator movie. I did not expect that. Yeah,
Yo, that must have been a wild like surprise. That's crazy.
yeah, it was insane, bro. I
That's
was
awesome.
yeah. But I also love the way that they have that like the Predator, shipwreck thing in the beginning. I think that was a really cool aspect to the character. Obviously, we've seen that in Predators, but I thought the way they handled like the shipwreck of Predator arriving
Hmm.
to this jungle with these native tribes, I think that was a really solid scene too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the predator in general, like So I have this at 5 stars now on my letterbox. When I initially watched it, I wasn't crazy about the design of the Predator. Like it's so different than what I was used to. I was like, I'm not sure. But then on rewatches, I've seen it 4 times now. So,
4 times.
yeah, I'll tell you. So basically, I watched it the night it dropped. So I was like, all right, this is really cool. I think I had it at 4 stars. And then I rewatched the Comanche dub. So I watched it in the Native
Oh,
American language. And then I didn't think it was going to get a physical release. I'm like a huge physical media collector. So
yeah.
I was like, all right. So I went and bought, like, I had a custom steelbook done because I like it's a franchise. You know what I mean? I can't not have one of them in my collection. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For a franchise
yeah.
I care about. So I went and got a custom steelbook done, and I bought like a Blu-ray disc because there's sellers on eBay that just they'll burn the disc for you. So I bought like one of those. So I had it, and then I watched that all the way through just to make sure the disc worked. And then when the 4K came out, I watched it again in 4K. So
Okay.
yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it like a ton. That's why when you were like getting ready for this, I was like, I don't need to rewatch this movie. I've seen it 4 times. Like I know this
Yeah.
movie. So yeah, I've seen it
Yeah,
four times now.
4 times. I only seen it 2 times so far, but I'm going to definitely see it for the third time because I think this is like a great Predator movie. I think the pacing is perfect for this movie. There's no slow points. It's very
It's tight. It's a tight movie.
tight pacing that really works for me and it clicks, especially with the shorter runtime this movie has. I think the runtime is perfect. I
Yeah,
think
I do too.
um I also love that sequence when the Predator first uses like the red dot arrows thing on the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
person.
The like tracking arrows.
Yeah, track house. I thought that was really cool. But speaking of the Predator design, I do love the fact this Predator design is very low tech. It's like the first time Predator coming to Earth, so it just makes sense logically that he
hmm
doesn't have the big tech that the other Predators have, because it's like kind of the first Predator hunting, right? So I thought that was a really cool scene. I love the scene where the predator's hunting a wolf, and then obviously the iconic bear scene is so fucking fire, you know.
The predator actually saves her
Yeah, the bear
because
saves her.
yeah, because in that one scene she's about to shoot her with the arrow. That wouldn't have killed the bear anyway, but she's trying to shoot her with the arrow, and then her arrow, the string on her arrow breaks. So then
Yeah,
she's just running from the bear. The predator actually saves her.
yeah. But the thing is that scene shows that the predator didn't view Naru as a threat during that scene, so that settled foreshadowing of later.
She is
Uh,
unarmed, I think, in that scene too. So
or
they've
Arnold.
showed, yeah, they've in other movies they've shown predators won't attack someone that's not armed.
Yeah, but like, also that makes sense when she gets trapped and sees the French settlers. The predator doesn't attack her there, but I like the way she uses one of the French settlers to get the predator into position to set up the trap in the finale. I thought that was a spectacular way to do it.
Yeah, yeah. It was cool too. It gives her like a little one line, a little like a little one liner. She says something. What did she say? She said something like, "Yeah, I've killed you and you don't even know it," or something like that.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
that was super cool. I
yeah.
also love the fire in the background during that sequence too. I think it was a really stellar shot there.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited to watch it because Dan Trachtenberg, who did it, the only other movie I think that I had seen him do was 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I really
Oh yeah,
enjoyed. So I was excited, and it seemed like he had passion for the projects. I mean, you can tell. I'm just super happy this movie got made because this started like before Disney took over Fox. Like this isn't a high budget movie. They could have easily just shelved this whole thing. You know what I mean? Like when
yeah.
Disney took over. So I'm like really happy that this movie even got made. That's one of the reasons I have this at 5 stars. I think it's kind of a miracle this movie even got made.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I'm glad it was made because, like I said in the before, like native representation being seen in the mainstream media is so huge.
hmm
Obviously we got that with Lily Gladstone and Killers of the Flower Moon. So it's going to be a great movement to see more of that representation being shown in Hollywood, which is
hmm
very important. Because I think representations, especially for like other cultures, is very important for like mainstream media, because if people learn more about cultures, it's going to bring the community together. And I think having a movie like Prey does that, especially with a big franchise like Predator, right?
Yeah, especially when it's done authentically. It's like a positive portrayal. It's like, I think it's important as well for sure.
So you know that scene like where the first action scene with the native, well, with the tribe happens, and uh, I mean, it was like Naru running with the other guy is like all green, you know,
Through the field.
yeah, third field, yeah, and I like that scene. Shows the brutality of the predator because that guy gets absolutely
I
exploded.
mean, yeah, this predator is they call it the feral predator. It's like it's brutal. It's like in your face. Like it's not too stealthy. Like he's willing to just kind of like throw down.
Yeah, throw down. I like that because
Yeah.
that's something really different because most of the time you see a predator be like more, you know, stealthy with it. So this one's like a more aggressive predator in your face that I really appreciate.
Hmm.
And it's done so well because I think it shows how effective a predator is, and it shows how dangerous this predator is. And I think making us fear a predator again, especially after that 2018 dumpster fire, I don't want to remember that movie ever again.
Yeah. I took a day off from work. I went to the theater and watched 2018, and I was like, I literally wanted to leave this theater. That's why I was so mad because I was like, I thought the franchise was dead. Like I thought it
Yeah,
was over. Like I thought I was never gonna see a Predator movie again. That's like another reason I'm like so happy this movie exists. Like
yeah. I
this,
mean,
there
like,
was everything was against this really.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, what was Shane Black doing, bro? Like, I was like expecting him to do something good because he was
I,
in the first Predator movie. I'm like, I
and
like,
like
I like Iron Man 3 too. So I was like,
yeah. He's
hope,
written good. He's written Lethal Weapon. The Nice Guys is really good. I like The Last Boy Scout. Like he's an accomplished director and writer, and that movie is a dumpster fire, as you said. It is awful.
yeah. And another question I have: what did you think about the score and sound design of Prey? Because I thought it was stellar,
I
personally.
love it. I actually have the score.
Right? Yeah.
I bought it on record. I had it because I like Mondo, the company. Like they do LPs like for scores. So I got they had a deal. I think it was like buy two get one free or something. So I got Last Night in Soho, Tron Legacy, and Prey. So I didn't like the score didn't really stand out to me like the first two times I watched it, but as I like listened to it more, I was like, yo, this is like pretty awesome. Like it mixes a lot of like the native like drum beats and stuff like that and sounds with like synth heavy, like not techno, but like more like electronic music mixed with like the native drums and stuff. It's like a really good score, really understated, but really nice.
Yeah,
I
like I feel like the score does a great job of showing the native representation, but
mhm.
adding suspense during the suspenseful moments really well, and just brings you in the environment and makes you feel like you're part of this movie, which is
Mhm.
another thing that the score I think does great too.
Definitely. Yeah, it's really good. It's a good listen. I put it on when I'm playing video games sometimes in the background.
Oh, nice, nice. And speaking of the forest scene, I like the how great that forest scene really looks, and you still see the full action during that. And then you have like these French settlers getting, you know, murdered by the predator, but then you have like a mixture of that and having a brother sister bond during that
Mm.
scene when they're captured, and the way
Yeah.
they I thought that was a perfect balance between having epic action scenes and having like character moments. And I think that what really clicks for me in this movie is the character moments that make you feel for these characters and you want care for these characters. And I
Hmm.
think especially Naru, because like obviously you want to root for her. She wants to be this hunter, and her arc is just really awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that scene they do a good job of like you said, like focusing on them. It's kind of like a scene within a scene. You have them tied up, but then all that other stuff's going on around them, and then they'll like cut to those action scenes too, but then they'll cut back to Naru and her brother trying to get out of their predicament. So yeah, it's done really well. Like and like you said, you can see everything. Like it's not quick cuts, it's not like sloppy. It's usually like in camera, not a ton of CGI, but when it's used, it's done well. Like I think like CGI is like perfect when it's like practical effects mixed with CGI, but the CGI isn't like super noticeable. That's when it doesn't stand out. And I think it works because it's like, you know, you have like a natural setting. It's not, I think what tends to happen with CGI is like when the background is CGI and then the character is too, it looks totally fake. So I think if you mix in a little bit of CGI with the practical effect, I think it's just, and like a natural background, I think it doesn't stand out as bad and it looks really good.
Like exactly, like for example, Alien Covenant CGI aliens, it made them look like video games, and I'm like, what's really Scott doing? I'm like, Jeremy has saying this movie is terrible. I don't care.
You're bringing up two of Covenant is my least favorite Alien movie, and The Predator is my least favorite movie of all time. So yeah, you're speaking my language. I dislike both of those movies strongly, and like you said, Covenant does the CGI. The alien in that is CGI like 80% of the time. Like anytime it's moving, it's CGI in that, and it has no weight. It's very floaty. It looks like a video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Covenant. I don't know why people like that movie. To be honest, I'm like, I keep seeing people like Covenant's so good. I'm like,
it's the TikTok environment. It helps to have a hot take. You know what I mean? You know, and then like if a big creator comes out and says, "Oh, Covenant's really good," then you have a lot of people that are just like, "Oh, it's cool to like Covenant now." And like if you genuinely like it, like I'm not saying like there's stuff to like about Covenant, but I think it's a mess, honestly. So
yeah, and then like Prey, like the CGI practical effects are top notch, and I feel like they're so beautiful to look at. Again, I'm still pissed that this movie was never released in theaters, but it's a miracle that it's released.
Keep our fingers crossed for a theatrical release at some point.
Hopefully before Prey 2. Prey 1 is in the movie theater, so we can experience this amazing film.
I'm hoping so.
Also, what you think about Predator's shield? Because I thought the shield looked dope.
Oh, his little like it's like the Kratos shield from God of War. Yeah, I thought it was cool. It was like a cool addition, like something you hadn't seen before in a Predator movie. Yeah. And it is like it's high tech, but it's also like low tech, which I think is cool. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It still has a like mechanical like thing where it does it, so it's kind of high tech, but it's still like a shield isn't like you would think it's like very like. So you can tell that this Predator isn't like stacked to the top of his head with all this kind of like crazy tech.
Yeah, for sure. But and also I just love the different tech, like the net that he uses to kill that person. That's really cool. Also the shield. The mask looks really awesome, especially
I love the mask.
Especially during that scene where somebody shoots the mask and the gun reflects and hits him. I'm like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so whatever alien he got that off of is bulletproof. His skeleton's bulletproof, I guess.
Yeah. So again, that's more foreshadowing because Naru uses the mask against her to take it off. So she could use like the little arrow red things to like kill the Predator. I thought that was like a little great hint to go from that transition to the finale kind of thing.
Yeah, well, they make a point of showing that she sees how like that arrow or whatever it is like tracks based on whatever that target is at. So like that's what I think is done really well. Like it's like they show her organically learning like what the Predator's like weaknesses are and like what the strengths are, and I think it's done like really well in my opinion. So
it shows how a serpent this character really is, and it's like, that's a weakness. I'm going to use that against the Predator. Oh, that's a weakness. I'm going to use that against the Predator, and it just has this great grand finale towards the end of the film that I thought captures like kind of like a coming age story of her becoming this hunter that she wants to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like she's just known to be a tracker. Like we've seen her be a tracker for like other animals for the tribe. So like it makes sense that she's able to figure things out and you know capture and kill the predator eventually.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, they do a really good job with her character. Like, but the thing is, like, they're talking about like trying to do another one, and I was like, I feel like I don't know how I'd feel about that because I feel like in order to do like a sequel with her, like they would have to take her to another planet or something. I just I don't know if it, like if a sequel would work, but I mean if the same people involved, like if it's Dan Trachtenberg involved and Amber Midthunder, like I'd definitely be down, but like I don't know if I want a sequel with her in it, but I want to see like more stuff with her, but I don't know if I want to see a Prey 2. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, like
I definitely have a iffy feeling about it too, but I love this character so much, so I
yeah,
definitely want to see more of this character on the big screen. Hopefully, because I think Aaron Midthunder does an excellent job portraying the character, and I think Naru is probably one of the coolest final girls we've seen in a while
recently, yeah.
recently, for sure. So like if they do like make her the Ripley of the Predator franchise, I'd be down for that. Why not, right?
I don't know how they could do that though, because I feel like if they did like I don't know, they send some other super predator back and then she has to fight it. That might feel a little bit too like I don't know. That might feel a little bit like too much for her to take on. You know what I mean? The way, especially the way, like I feel like the way that it's done, it feels like it could, you know, it's like it's possible. Like I don't know, it's possible. It's like about an alien, whatever. But I'm just saying, like the way that it's done, it feels somewhat realistic. I feel like depending on how they would do a sequel and what she's up against, like I don't want her to turn into like a superhero. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
So that, yeah. So I that's why I'm a little worried about if they would do a sequel with her. But like you said, like I do love the character and I would like to see her in something else. But I'm not quite sure exactly how I would like to see that happen.
I definitely like. We just need to see more news on it to see how it's going to happen. At least a trailer for Prey 2 is have a general idea of
Yeah.
what they're planning ahead. But hopefully, it's the same people making this one because if it isn't, I'm gonna lose all hope because I feel like these guys did a fantastic job with Prey and making an excellent movie. Um, yeah, so hopefully we get more info on it soon so we have a general idea what to expect next.
Well, Dan Trachtenberg is doing another Predator movie, but it's got Elle Fanning is in it,
Oh,
and
that
it's like codename Badlands, but I don't know what the setting is going to be or anything, so I'm not quite sure exactly. But they are making another Predator movie, but it's not a direct sequel to Prey. So, and then they are releasing some sort of animated anthology. That was the news, like the more recent news, that there's going to be like a direct to Hulu like animated anthology where the Predator is shown in different like
yeah,
timelines and stuff like that. So
yeah. We'll
I'm
see.
excited. We're just getting more Predator content in
I
general.
me
So
too. I don't know how I feel about the Elle Fanning
yeah, I
one
mean,
yet. No,
we'll have to see. I mean, but Dan Trachtenberg is involved, so I have, you know, I'm not quite sold on that either yet, but I'm curious. I'm curious to see. I was thinking like it could be like a futuristic movie, which I think would be cool. And if she had like this is total like fanboy stuff, but I was just like maybe she runs like some sort of like android thing and she's like the brains and because I can't see her going like one on one with a predator. You know what I mean? Depending on like maybe she gets some souped up suit or something. I don't
yeah.
know, but yeah, we'll see. I because we know nothing about the movie yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah, like we know nothing about that movie, but I do like Elle Fanning, so
yeah,
we'll see. Like I said, we need more info on that for sure.
yep.
But what's the other scene that we're like? Okay, okay. What was the most impactful scene in Prey, in your opinion? The most impactful scene is like, oh wow, that was great. You know?
I love I love the ending, like when she lets out that like native like war cry after she like defeats the
Yeah,
predator. She like you can feel it. Like it's like all of the emotions that she's like experiencing, like you know, her family doubting her and her tribe doubting her, and she's finally like proven, you know, it's just like it's to me, it's just it means more than just like I won in this battle. It just means like she proved it to herself. She's going to prove it to her tribe. Like and she's getting revenge for her brother. Like it's there's a lot involved in it, and it like gives me chills. It gives me chills
Yeah.
like thinking about it. I love that scene. What about you?
I was going to say the same scene.
Oh, that's funny.
Like you basically read my mind.
Read your mind.
Yeah. But yeah, this scene is super impactful because like you said, she proves to her tribe that I could be a hunter. It's a revenge for her brother, which is super amazing because like the brother, like he didn't go down without fight.
No, yeah,
Like he's
that's a cool scene.
yeah, he stabbed a predator one time before, predator stabbed in the head, like through his head, and then
Mhm.
yeah, that was that. But at least he went with a fight, which is something really awesome to show he's a true warrior. That I just love that. But yeah, going back to that scene, that was pretty impactful, and her just going to Thrive and seeing the Thrive actually be like proud of her was another really impactful moment in the whole film, especially during the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scene is great. I mean, there's lots. I mean, just all of the performances in general, and it's like none of these actors that are in the movie, a lot of them aren't even really actors. You know what I mean? They've really barely been in anything. So it's normally in a film like that, you can tell like that, these people are super inexperienced, but like just the overall production of this is just really good. And nothing really stands out as like amateurish or anything. It just, it looks like you said, like a full on like theatrical level movie with like, mostly relatively unknown actors, and just like it's not a super high budget film. It's just done really well.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Also, shout out to Ember Midturner to do that really awesome one take fight scene with the French settlers. I thought that was
Mhm.
really great. I felt bad for one of the characters who like got injured with his leg. It was like playing dead, and then
Oh yeah. Well, he's kind of like he's a villain, so
yeah, he's a villain. But I'm like, bro, almost made it out alive too.
Well, he's where that gun comes from, right? He's where that the musket that's in Predator 2, like the one that she finds that's labeled.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's like the Easter egg that I guess is moved on to the other movie. So that's the little Easter egg, that little that little musket thing.
Yeah. And I also really like the thermal vision of the Predator too, like the heat vision thing. I thought that was it looked really cool. It was very organic. It went with the flow of the film really well.
Hmm.
That's another aspect of the movie I really like.
Yeah, it does a lot of like throwbacks to the originals and stuff, but like flips it enough where it feels fresh. Like
Yeah,
a big complaint about Romulus is it feels too similar to the other movies, and I think like we said, like with the hiding your body heat and stuff like that, it's a similar like plot device that's in Predator, but it's done in a different and believable way. So I think you can't really like lob those critiques against Prey because it's still clearly in the franchise, but it is definitely like a fresh take
yeah.
on all of the elements.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of Romulus, I love the film because it takes everything from the first Alien, well, all the Alien movies, and adds its own spin to it, and adds this uniqueness to it to make it like feel like an original film. And
Hmm.
I thought that was a really great way to have a love letter to like these Alien fans, and I thought that was a really great element of Alien Romulus. Even though the movie's not really loved that much, even though I give it 5 star because I loved every second of it, to be honest. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean Romulus, like I understand like the critiques against it, and it just kind of depends like how much you will hold against a movie for doing stuff like that. And for me personally, like I am a huge fan of both the Predator and the Alien franchises, and for me, like the fan service in the movie didn't bother me. I mean, Rook's character, the Ian Holm android, clearly I wish they didn't do that. Like I would have liked that not to have been in the movie, but I had so much fun with Romulus. Like and it's a similar situation where like I love the Alien franchise. The first two movies are 5 stars for me, and I like Prometheus, but other than that, like the rest of the franchise is very like not great. It's not great. It's, the movies individually are not great. The overall
Yeah.
lore is cool, but if you look at the individual movies, it's not that strong. So like as another thing where I was like, finally, like I saw a great Alien film in theaters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it felt like I'd been so long since somebody like actually like taken this like subject matter and done it like well. So that's why I was like extra hyped for Romulus as
Yeah,
well.
like 100%. Like another thing is, I have like what Alien Romulus, first two Aliens, a Prometheus a 5 star, and the rest is 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5.
Was you have Prometheus at 5 stars?
Yeah, bro, I loved it. I loved it.
What's your ranking for the Predator franchise? I'm just, obviously the Predator 2018 is last, but I'm like, what's your other like your second favorite? Is it Predator and then Prey? Is that your top two?
Prey first.
Oh, really?
And then it's Predator, and then Predator 2, then Predators, and then what's the last?
2018.
What's
2018, I guess, is the last one.
Is that a movie?
Yeah, the Predator 2018, I think.
That really exists?
Yeah, it does exist. It's a nightmare, but it exists.
I erased it out of my mind, man.
I didn't get it at first. I was like, "Wait, what? Am I missing something?" I didn't get it at first, but yeah, I'm good.
You didn't get my humor that time. How about what's your ranking for the Predator movies?
I have both. Well, I have Predator first, and then I have Prey. I have 5. I have both of them 5 stars, though. I would give both 5 stars, and then after that, I mean, I don't know. Like, I haven't actually. It's funny I asked you that question because I haven't actually like ranked them. I would probably have. I'd probably have Predator too. Man, I don't know. I'd probably have Predators. I think it's cool, got a cool ending, Predators, and they do show you some different stuff. Predator 2 to me is like it's like such a like I guess it was like early 90s or like really late 80s film. But like it's very dated, and I really don't like the ending with like the one armed when he gets his arm chopped off and he's running around. The Predator's running around with one arm. I was like, this is not cool.
Okay, the one thing I hated about Predators is that whole Toby Grace.
I actually didn't hate that. I know a lot of people do. I actually didn't hate that. I thought that was kind of cool at the end. How he's like he reveals why he's there, and like he's a serial killer, which I thought was pretty cool.
Also, why did do my boy Marshall Ali so dirty?
Yeah. They did a couple. They did Danny Trejo pretty dirty too.
I'm like, you got these really cool actors in there, and just have Adrian Brody be the final guy. I'm like,
I thought it was kind of a cool twist. Like he's like a, if you look at these real military guys, they're not ripped. They're not Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I mean? They're like they're just in shape dudes. So, but the only thing that like I still can't like that bugs me about that movie is he's doing the Batman voice like the whole time. He's like, I'm gonna do this.
Another thing that bugs me. Speaking of fan service, they keep using lines from the original Predator movie into the Predators film, and I'm losing my mind because they're like trying so hard for this bro to be Arnold, and he's like, he's not Arnold. I'm so.
Haven't you ever seen these traps? I know this. I went to in Afghanistan. I saw these same traps. I'm like, bro, just talk, bro. Why are you talking like that? But I do really love. I guess I can't remember her name. Alice Braga's character, the girl from City of God, who's in it. Yeah. She is like, I would love to see her in another movie if they can bring. She's probably like really old now, but yeah, she was great in it.
I mean, you got to get to the chopper at the Batman was too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like that fan service, like because in Romulus, everyone's saying when he says like when Andy the android says "Get away from you, bitch," like that. Everyone was like, but when I was in theaters, everyone had fun with that.
Yeah, I have fun with that. I never mind it.
And I saw Romulus 3 times, and each time I saw it, the crowd I was with like kind of like was like, oh, like they enjoyed it. You know what I mean? So I thought it was done well. But yeah, there is bad ones like in Predators. Like it's
Yeah, like Prey has fan service moments, but very settled fan service moments of the Predator being action, right? And then
Yeah.
you have Predator having using lines from the first movie and just making it annoying feeling thing because it doesn't really do anything to the story. It's just there. Oh, you're a Predator fan. Get to the chopper. There's that line. There's that line. I'm like,
And the biggest thing that my issue with Predators is like that whole scene, the samurai scene. Like they set up this whole cool showdown with the one Yakuza guy, and I was like, this could be awesome. And then when it plays out, I was like, that was it.
yeah.
I was like, that could have been much better.
I mean, like we could do like a whole conversation of good and bad fan service for like any movie, bro. I think that's a tight conversation.
Yeah.
But like, I think Alien Romulus does a great fan service thing. Like, it adds to the story. I mean, it's not that bad, guys. You know, give it a shot again.
I mean, everyone can rate it. You know, like I said, I understand that complaint, but for me, it didn't bother me.
Yeah, me either. So, is there anything else you might add for Prey, or should we cap this off?
No, I mean, I'm just so happy it exists. I'm happy we're getting a sequel. I'm happy we're getting more Predator content in general. Like I said, I thought the entire franchise was dead and buried with Predator 2018. I mean, that movie had good actors, an accomplished director. It has the biggest budget of any Predator movie. Like, even I went through, like, I'm a 2018 hater, so I went through and like I adjusted like the other ones in the franchise for inflation. I was like, if you even adjust for inflation, it still had the biggest budget, and this is what they came up with. So
Yeah,
I was like literally thinking like one of my favorite franchises is like dead and buried, and then this came out and was just great. So I'm just happy that this revived it and we're getting more content, more Predator.
Thank
stuff.
God we didn't have any talking predators this time around.
Translating predators, kidnapping kids for autism, like it's just so bad. Like we could do a whole like. I have like so many complaints. Like there's a scene in Predator 2018 when the Predator has a dude and he's like ready to kill him, and then the one guy's like, "Hey, look over there," and the Predator looks, and then they shoot at it. Like, this is the greatest hunter in all of the universe, and you're just like, "Hey, look over there," and it looks, and then they're like, "Oh, get away." It's so bad. It's so bad. But yes, thank God this movie was made, and it is great. And like you said, representation matters. Like, this is a great. I love Native American stories. Like, this was done really well. The fact that it got a Comanche dub is so awesome. Like, that just shows so much respect that they were willing to do it this way as well. And that's like my preferred way to watch it now. So, and even on the 4K disc, like, they included it. So there you can just tell there was a ton of passion involved in this movie from everyone involved. So yeah, and it comes through.
1000%. At least we didn't have any Predator Suit jokes this time around. Thank God.
No jokes. No jokes. No thumbs up. No thumbs up. Did you remember that scene? Where he takes the guy's severed arm and sticks it through like a thumbs up, and then the guy that's driving is like, "All right, cool," just keeps driving. Oh my God, dude!
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's the worst movie ever. That's like, I literally hate, because like I feel like there's bad movies, and then there's bad movies that are so bad they're good, and then there are just bad movies that are like bad and offensive, and like I found Predator 2018 to be like offensive in general. So yeah.
Well, I think I got everything that I want to talk about for Prey. And we talked about a little bit of Predator franchise and Alien. We kind of diversify a little bit, which is dope. Thanks for thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. No, I appreciate it. Any chance I get to talk about Predator or Aliens, I'm down. So
yeah, we should definitely run this back. And
sure.
All right. And let's say bye to everyone.
All right. Peace, guys. Take care.
MBK out.
All right, peace.